Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 71. I am so delighted to be here with you. And I want to share that I've changed the name of this weekly transmission. It was called Priestess Rise Up. And now it's very similar. It's just the next iteration is Rise Up and Share Your Soul's Medicine. Okay, so welcome to this week where we're going to talk about that. That's what we're talking about every week. How do you rise up and share your soul's medicine? My name is Lisa Espinosa. I am a spiritual career coach and priestess, and it is my great honor, my great joy to offer my help as you emerge, as you go to the next level of revealing who you are, both to yourself and to the world, and sharing your unique soul's medicine. And so I want to remind everyone, for those of you who've been listening to me for years, and for those of you who are new to me, that what do I mean when I talk about your soul's medicine? And even if you've already heard me speak about this, I really want to invite you to tune into it from a beginner's mind, from an open heart, right? Not like, oh, I already know this, but just like really listen and notice what your soul highlights for you. Before we do that, let's go ahead and take a few cleansing breaths together. Let yourself tune into your heart and tune into the earth. I welcome everybody's soul, your beautiful soul, your beautiful higher self, your true essence to be here. And I welcome all of those divine beings, including the angels, the ascended masters, and so many other loving beings, unconditionally loving beings that have no agenda. Their only purpose and intention is to help in your awakening, to mentor you, to support you, to mirror who you truly are back to you. And so we welcome all of that divine love, those beautiful miracles, that grace to surround. I welcome it to surround each of you, to surround all of us together, whether you're here watching the replay or you're here live. And of course, we welcome the divine creator, divine mother, father, creator, creatrix of all life, universe, source, spirit, God, goddess, whatever name you use. We welcome that unconditional love to shine its light upon all of us as we gather together, co-creating this space, this space for you to remember who you are and reveal who you are and lead and serve from that place. So with that, we bring the palms of our hands together and we bow to each other and our own beautiful heart, and we begin. So welcome. So as I said in the beginning, your soul's medicine. What does that mean? Here we are in 2024, or whenever you're watching this, and every year your unique medicine, right? That was a term that I didn't obviously make up the term medicine, but that was the descriptor that my soul showed me after my first book came out, Answering Your Inner Calling. And I was praying or meditating, I don't even remember, but I was sitting with my soul, really nervous about sharing the teachings in my book and going on book talks and all of the things. And I really heard my soul say, you're basically just reminding people that they have a unique soul's medicine. And I'd never heard it described that way. I had heard, obviously I had thought about we all have unique gifts. I had talked about that for years, but I loved that image that my soul brought to me of your unique soul's medicine, because think about what medicine does. It heals, right? It brings a system back into balance. And so when you think about you carrying a medicine, that you carry a unique medicine that the world needs. And unlike the medicines of the world that can be replicated, and you can go to a drugstore and find, a bunch of different, like boxes of Tylenol, right? Or any other medicine. But the medicine you bring, nobody else brings. Nobody else, even if you have the same exact job as the person next to you, right? So that's how important it is. That's how essential it is. And we each play a role in the liberation of humanity and the salvation and the healing of the world. And so your medicine is absolutely needed. Nobody's medicine is more powerful than someone else's. That is just simply not true. That's something that the ego wants us to believe so that we can compare each other, so that we can compare ourselves, so that we can feel better than or feel less than. That's just an ego trick. But everyone's soul's medicine is equally strong and powerful. Now, the difference is, because there is a difference, just like an instrument, if we can choose to not express our soul's medicine, to repress it, to hide it, to dismiss it, to hide it even from ourselves. And so then in that case, it wouldn't be as potent, but not because God, source didn't provide this beautiful medicine for you, but because we're choosing, we do have free will, and we've chosen to not share it. But if you're here, I know that you have a prayer, you have a longing to share your soul's medicine in the most profound, deepest, authentic, most genuine, courageous, bold, loving, miraculous way. And if you're here, I know you've already been sharing your medicine. But again, we're here to constantly be on this journey of acceleration. That doesn't mean rushing and hustling. Acceleration meaning that we're always surrendering to our soul, always saying, beautiful soul, you lead me. What is the most potent expression of my medicine? And so let's break it down a little bit more. Sometimes people confuse this, right? The ego, the matrix of the world, what does it tell us? Oh, well, what is your important offering? Is your professional training? What degrees do you have? What certifications do you have? Now, I'm not suggesting that those things are not important. Of course, there's a time and a place. I have a degree in education, right? I have my certification, in energy healing and modality of coaching and all sorts of things. And they were all very helpful. They were all absolutely provide tools that I use when I work with my clients and students. And they were very important. My soul led me to take those. But that's not what makes my medicine unique. People can have more certifications than me or the same certifications than me. What is it? Now, as I was preparing for today's transmission, again, asking my soul, what do I say about this? I've already talked about our soul's medicine so many times. And what I heard my soul say is she said, your soul's medicine is the story of your life told through your soul's perspective. So I'm going to say that again. Your soul's medicine is made up of the story of your life told through your soul's perspective. And so, for example, if I just think of certain aspects of my story, I used to be a middle school teacher, right? In the United States, that's teaching 7th grade, 13, 14-year-olds. I used to teach science and language arts. And then one day, I'd almost been teaching for 10 years. I heard my soul say, your time here is done. And I knew, oh, this is why I've been feeling so out of sorts, because I'm meant to leave this career and start a new one. And so I did. And it was very scary and it was overwhelming. And I had so many doubts and I had to face all of that. Right. I remember, my kids went to the school where I taught, and the first September, some of you have heard me speak of this, in the United States, you start school back in September, and that first day of school where I drove my kids to the school where I used to teach, but now this time I was just going to drop them off and go back to my house because I had left that career. I dropped them off and I drove off in my minivan because I have 5 children. They're now young adults. I just started sobbing. I was like, oh my gosh. I was sobbing because I missed not walking in with them. I missed my students. I had all sorts of doubts. Did I make a mistake? I didn't know what my new career exactly was. I felt like it was a death of my identity as a teacher. And so all of that, going through that journey, was a hugely important part of my soul's medicine. Yes, after that, I got all sorts of training and energy healing and coaching and all of those things. And those were all wonderful and great. But that's not what what provides this medicine that allows me to help my clients when they are facing their doubts about following their soul's guidance. And I'm not saying that everybody I work with has to quit their job like I did. That was just my kind of extreme journey because I was going to be leading others through it. But I know the fears that come up when our soul tells us to do something and our ego is like, oh my gosh, no, 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 this is going to be terrible. I'm so scared. I need a safety net. I need to have the plan. I need to know the blueprint. I need to know every step. But that's not how our soul speaks to us, right? So that was part of my soul's medicine. So you have your story. I really want you to think about it. Like, what are those parts? And that's why my soul said, through your soul's perspective, your ego might look at certain parts of your story and be like, oh, that's unimportant. Don't share that with people. People are going to judge you. But your soul knows, like, no, those are the gems. Those are the pearls. That's what makes you authentic. That's what your clients and students and the people you're here to serve and love and lead are going to resonate with and connect with. Right? So that's what our medicine is. So, part of the reason the title, I changed the name of these transmissions to Rise Up and Share Your Soul's Medicine, is because that's the message that I just keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating and saying over and over and over and over and over and over and over, because we need to hear it over and over and over and over. And so really think about this year, whenever you're watching this. I happen to be saying this in the beginning of 2024. What aspect of your soul's medicine, what part of your story is really coming forward to be part of your medicine this year? What part of your story? So I know, leaving, many of you have been following this journey, or leaving the city where I was born and raised, Chicago, Illinois, in the United States, right? And then moving to Mexico, being here now for 6 months. That extreme release from selling houses and cars and donating clothes and selling books and throwing a million things away, all of that whole journey that was so unsettling for me. I had so much grief tied into it as well. So much also doubt, like, oh my gosh, are we making a mistake? And what if we get to Mexico and we're like, oh my gosh, this was a mistake, but now we sold everything, right? That whole journey, and then arriving here and everything, everything, right? All of that has become part of my medicine. I mean, I'm still integrating my life here in a new country, but I'm in a much more settled place. But learning how to find a home, find home within me, find stability within me, find certainty within me, find groundedness within me, when literally my life was completely ungrounded. Right? When I was just surrounded by boxes for months and months and months, where I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm selling this, I'm donating this. Wait, did we bring everything we needed? Like, where everything was just turned upside down. That developed this other muscle, this awakened this other aspect of my medicine. And I'm still unpacking that. I'm still understanding that. So for you, what aspect of your story is coming up? Is your soul saying, look at it through my eyes. This is part of the medicine that you're offering the world this year. And it is going to require all of us to come out of the shadows, to come out of hiding, to stop watering it down or censoring ourselves or tiptoeing around it. Right, today, my Mother Mary monthly class today is with beautiful Mary Magdalene as well. It's actually today at 12, so if you want to join, you still have time. It's all about coming out of hiding. It's all about the process of emergence. And obviously, it's not like I'm under my bed literally hiding in that way. I put myself out there in many ways, but my soul and the Divine Mother keep saying, there's more. There's more of you to reveal, not unprofessionally, not oversharing, not that. That's a whole different thing. But to really tune in, first and foremost, with myself, right? That, I just see this image, and I think this will be a meditation I do today at 12 in the Mother Mary class. It's like, holding this mirror in front of us and really seeing, oh yeah, look at me. Imagine that in this moment, right? Your beautiful soul holding a mirror in front of you, right? And it's this magical mirror that shows you what you're afraid to look at. And I know the ego will be like, oh, these horrible things about myself. No, as Marianne Williamson said very wisely, it's not it's our light that scares us. We think we're scared of our shadow and, oh, I'm so ashamed of this and that. Yes, there's a level of that. But the truth is, we're much more scared. There's much more resistance and fear to seeing how amazing we are, to seeing your light, to seeing your gifts, to seeing your medicine. Why is that? Because the ego is terrified of you fully seeing your light. Why is that? Because the ego knows, oh, shoot, if she sees, so I see Michelle is here. So, for example, if her soul might be saying something like, if Michelle totally sees who she is, if she really sees her medicine and she sees how unique and essential it is, and she stops listening to me, but just fully listens to her soul, that'll be the end of me, the ego says. And the ego's right. So we have this mechanism inside of us, all of us who are human, walking in this human world have this. So there's nothing wrong with you for having this. It's part of what we signed up for. That is constantly feeding us is like, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look at your light. Don't see how amazing you are. Keep fixing yourself, keep fixing yourself, keep fixing yourself. You're not ready yet. You're not ready. You're not ready. Right? It keeps telling us that because it's afraid of us remembering fully who we are. And so that's the coming out of hiding that I'm talking about. That's what, today's class at 12 o'clock will be all about that, right? It's a class and activation and energy healing to help us release those veils of amnesia. First of all, to release it from your own eyes of seeing yourself. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that. Yes. And this isn't about being arrogant, right? Like, oh, I'm so special. Nobody else has my soul's medicine. I'm better than other people. That's the ego talking. That's the disease of narcissism. That's not what this is. I've shared this before. When you fully understand, oh my gosh, the creator, God, goddess, source, the divine has gifted me with this medicine that the world needs. And if I don't share it, nobody else can because it's only mine to share. It is incredibly humbling. There's no arrogance attached to that at all. And so, that's really important for you to remember. It is the most selfless thing for you to do to fully see yourself and fully and decide and commit that you will this year share your medicine in a deeper, more profound way with more impact than you've ever before. And the good news is you don't have to control that. Once you set that intention, your soul will bring you the resources, the people, the books, the connections, the experiences that you need to make that happen. The most important thing first is your willingness, your intention. So sometimes when I meet with potential clients, they have such a deep prayer to be of service, but they're kind of spinning out in the, well, how, but how, but how, but how, but how do I do this? But I have all these obstacles, like how, right? There's all this. And it's like, one of my coaches very wisely always says the who before how, who before how. And it's like one of the hardest things for our brain to do, but we are sovereign. We are meant to do hard things. I don't mean hard from the ego's perspective, but hard from the fact that let's not pretend being human is easy. Yes, we are divine beings having a human experience. There's a lot in this matrix, in this human life that makes it challenging. There just is. It is a heroic human journey. And so the who before how first of all, is reminding you, first of all, remember when you start spinning out and how, come back to, okay, well, the first answer to that question is I connect with my soul. And this is episode 71. So I've talked about this in several episodes before, and I can't remember the numbers, but one of them specifically comes to mind right now, that it's like every day practice receiving from your soul. That is a how right there. It is simple, but not necessarily easy. Your brain might want to receive something more complicated. But spiritual teachings are simple, but not necessarily easy. Your soul will help you step into the who of who you are. And from that place, you take the action steps. So I will be sharing more about that, right? Because I do know, obviously, we want to ground this and anchor it and have, marry the divine feminine with our divine masculine aspect, which is the action-driven aspect of us, because there are action steps to take. We did agree to come to this human life to take action. So I'm not suggesting that it's just about, sitting around just visualizing. We will have to take action. You do have to take action. But our ego loves to spin out on how. If you catch yourself in that place, just have compassion. It's like, oh, okay, there's my ego doing that thing. Let me take a few breaths, receive from my soul, and receive the next right step. And so to recap, you are here to share a unique soul's medicine that nobody else has. This medicine is made up of the story of your life, seen through your soul's eyes, not through your egos, not through the different parts of you, through your soul's eyes. So it's very important that you ask your soul to show you, right? Show me what aspect of my life, what chapter of my life is coming forward to be part of my medicine this year. And yes, the other stuff, the certificates and the training, all those are tools to help you share your medicine, but they're not the most important thing. And also remembering that when you fully accept that you have a unique medicine to share, it is the most humbling of truths. And remember that your ego doesn't want you to fully see the light that you are, to fully believe that you do have a medicine that's essential. Because it's afraid that if you do see that, you will start ignoring the ego, which kind of is what happens. So the ego is correct with that. Okay. And so I want to remind you always that your soul is always communicating with you, loves you unconditionally, and wants to make it easy for you to hear it. So if it feels complicated, it's just because a part of you, the ego, has taken over. It's very normal for that to happen. But remind yourself, wait, my soul wants to talk to me. My soul wants me to hear its messages. It's not making it tricky or complicated or putting all these tests for me so that I can prove my worthiness. No, your soul knows you're worthy. So if you need help with this, if you would like to, if you have that prayer, that longing, that intention that this year, as I keep saying, is going to be your best year yet, that you're like, yes, I'm going to really commit to following my soul's guidance, and you want some help, you can go to my website. I'll put the link in the comments, lisaespinosa.net. Under free session, I offer a 1-hour breakthrough consultation where I will, start with a short little meditation, ask you just several questions just to really get clear. Okay, what is the result you want to achieve this year? What are the obstacles you think you see are in the way? And then through that listening, really be able to tune in and be like, well, actually, this is what I see. This is my diagnosis. This is what I see as the obstacle, and this is what the solution is. And then I'll share with you the details of my coaching program and see if that's a good fit for you. And so I'll put the link for that. I think there's maybe a few slots still left in January, but I'll be opening my February slots very soon. So you can check in with that. And also later today is the 17th. So if you're watching this today, at 12 is the monthly Mother Mary Planetary Healing class. And this month is about coming out of hiding, and it's like an energy healing session. I do share teachings, but it is a session where you can be lying down or sitting down, and you're going to be receiving energy healing to clear those energy blocks, clear that clutter, clear that congestion that we can hold in our body, in our meridians, and our chakras that make it harder, right? It's like our energy body can hold an imprint of the past. And so it's so important as you're doing this work, as you're following your soul's guidance, to have that support, that energetic support to help like repot you, right? It's like when you have a beautiful flower in a pot and you're like, oh my gosh, this flower has gotten too big for its pot. Well, that's what these monthly sessions are. It's like, oh, your soul, the Divine Mother, plucks you out of the old pot and puts you into the new, beautiful, radiant new pot so that you can keep growing and expanding. So anyway, if you're interested in that, you can sign up. You can go to my Facebook page, Lisa ESP23, or my website under events. I'll put the link in the comments, but I don't know how quickly I'll be able to do that. So if you want to join live today, you will get the replay, and I do pull an oracle card for each person, even if you're not there live. All right. So I will see you. I'm going to pull a card for the group before we go, but I want to say I will see you next week. Remember, I'm here every Wednesday at 11. There is going to be 2 days coming up that it's going to be a slightly different time, just for some special events. One of them being Goddess Bridget. It's her 1500th anniversary. And so I, along with my dear friend Zoe Daly, joining from Ireland, from Dublin, Ireland, will be doing a special session of these transmissions on February 1st on Bridget's Day. So that'll be a Thursday. So that week we'll meet on a Thursday. But make sure you have my newsletter so you'll receive all the news about that. All right. Okay. So let's do one card for the group, and then I've got to get off to finish getting ready for this next class. Here we go. Whoops, this one fell. Here we go. So perfect. Be the real you. This is so perfect. Your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. Again, your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. Look at here, beautiful, gorgeous Archangel Michael. That is your soul's medicine. That is when you share who you truly are, that is the greatest gift. Your medicine oozes out of you without you even saying a word. All right, feel that activation. All right, everyone, this was so much fun, so great. I hope to see you in the class in 30 minutes or in the replay if you can't join live. I'm going to be doing a deep cellular cleansing. All right, bye, everyone. Talk to you next week or maybe later. Bye. Oh, Summer, is so good to see you. Bye, Michelle, and everyone else who's here live or on the replay.